Happy New Year. Today is January 1st, 2024, and I just wanted to give a quick channel update. I am going to be changing the name to my personal name, so it'll be from Hacienda Homestead to Jenna Wright. And the reason for doing this is when I originally started this channel, it was going to be all about homesteading. And over this past year, I realized that there's so much more to my life and to what we do here than homesteading. Although building a home and cooking from scratch and caring for the animals and living on a homestead is very much what we do, there's also so much other things that I really feel like people can learn from that I want to share with you. So that is the reason why the channel name is changing. I hope this year's content will encourage you and challenge you to be better, to do the things that you may have been a little bit afraid to try, and more importantly, to seek the Lord. I don't normally do words. I know that some people do words and New Year's resolutions. Last year, my idea for the new year, I hate to say New Year's resolution because I don't really make resolutions, but one thing that I wanted to do last year was to start making bread for the family and not purchasing bread. And I will say that I think I accomplished that for the most part. I'm not saying we never bought a loaf of bread, but I definitely learned how to make bread and bagels and crackers and all the things. And so I'm very proud of myself for that. It took some failures, but I think for the most part it turned out pretty good. And now I feel confident that I can provide bread for my family. And I found good recipes and some not so good recipes, but I have one that I know that I like and that we all enjoy. So I'm glad that I was able to accomplish that last year, and I will continue that through this year also. It's just become a part of the way of life now, which is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to choose such a huge project that it felt overwhelming. I know the small things for me, the small changes tend to take root for me. And so to choose something that would be really large and big where I felt like I never could get a grasp of, I knew that I wouldn't hold to it. So there's that. And y'all may be very different than me. I'm very structured. So that's kind of way. And I like small victories. I need little victories along the way or I will give up. That's my personality, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to do this year. Nothing's really come to mind. I do want to learn how to make laundry soap. I've yet to find a recipe that's like, yeah, I think this will work. So if you have any recipes, feel free to drop them in the comments. We were challenged in our Sunday school yesterday to pick a word for the year. And the word I picked was quiet. I just want to step back and observe. My brother is very quiet and observant, and while I am very observant, I'm often not quiet. And I often am quick to respond and I'm quick to say what I think. And this year I do know that I want to take a step back and listen instead of speak, and mull things over instead of have that gut reaction and say what's on my mind right then. And so that's what I'm going to be working on. I know that it will take a lot of God's grace to get me there because I do tend to react in the moment. So it will be a challenge. Another word that I feel like for me, and I feel like it was last year too, and it just seems like it's even more on the forefront, is surrender. Surrender firstly to God, and surrender everything that I do. And instead of becoming so fixated, which I tend to do, I tend to become very fixated on something and I want it to happen and I want it to happen right now and I want it to happen the way I want it to happen. I want to always take a step back and see where God's working and be surrendered to His will and not mine. These things are what I know for sure that I want to work on this year. I don't expect to perfect it, but I do hope to see small victories. And so I hope that y'all have a wonderful new year. I hope that this channel can be encouraging and uplifting to you. And I hope that you come back and see the other side of homesteading. And I pray blessings over all of y'all.